You remember the Batman from 2004? The animated series? Just like comic book Batman and the animated series Batman, this version of Batman does a lot of weird stuff too. It makes you wonder, does he secretly have superpowers? Oh man. Yes, there is a human under this mask. Let's deep dive into him. First of all, he can literally throw beings that are bigger than himself. Multiple beings restraining him at once. He's strong enough to push all these people off of him. This has to be evidence he's stronger than normal men. I know it's a cartoon. He makes this stuff look easy, but notice how he's ripping off a straitjacket like with ease. They needed help. Batman was able to get this off of them. You see all this rubble crumbling. Batman is able to push all this stuff off of him. This can give you an idea of his vice grip using one of his many things of gear. He was able to do this without ripping his arm out of the socket with vice grip, this golden ball. We've seen him pull down stuff like this using his grapple. If I had to make a rough guesstimation, this Batman should, by default, be able to lift at least a ton, one could say, because, like, you can actually Google the weight of these little oil drums. These can weigh like half a ton, like I'm talking about bare minimally 500 pounds. And the way he moved this seemed to be with laughable ease on how he saved them. Not to mention, based on his villain, there's implications he can lift more, even if he's not necessarily equal to all his villains in strength, and some of his villains actually having the muscle or strength advantage over him. You can really get an understanding of the Batman's strength. First of all, he's fighting beings that are way bigger than him, and he has the muscle to literally use his legs to actually push these large beings off of him and launch them with his strength. Like, Man-Bat is literally strong enough to rip a bank vault off its hinges. This is why Batman doing this is impressive, considering that to rip that bank vault off his hinges, it probably took more than 10 tons of force. You could argue when it comes to muscle, Batman maybe with his legs could maybe lift 5 tons or something, if we don't want to assume he's exactly as strong as Man-Bat or something. I know this is unrealistically strong, but hey, he's an unrealistic human. He's fighting all these superhuman-ish beings. I mean, he handles himself well against beings like Killer Croc, for example. Like, I'm lowballing him, not assuming he's exactly as strong as these beings. Yeah, Batman has a lot of gadgets and tech. Yeah, one of his many things of gear he has is this bat-like battle suit, basically. He used this to fight against beings that are stronger than him, like Bane. Yeah, Bane in this universe is ridiculously strong to where Batman has to make a battle suit for him. Yeah, don't ask. The reason why I'm bringing this up is because this is ridiculously impressive. The literal battle suit, Batman's kind of holding it off for a little while before it turned off. Even though I know he's not stronger than the battle suit, he held it off quite long enough. Like, I'm not really trying to overhype him, guys, but Bane, when he's juiced up like this, Batman in his battle suit can match his strength of this Bane. A Bane that can throw a bank vault door, and Batman's battle suits, yeah, can hold off the strength and muscle of this Bane. That's why Batman, even if he's briefly doing it, that's why this is impressive. He can hold down something like this with his bare arms and muscle, something that's strong enough to kind of contain Bane when Bane's that strong, to lift like 20 or 30, 40, 50 plus 100 tons. I mean, bank vaults can vary in weight. They can be up to 2, all the way up to 10 tons, or even more to 25 tons. So if you made an argument he can lift more than 5 tons, I really wouldn't debate with you. It's definitely in the realm of possibility based on these villains and stuff. Even though I'm not saying he's equal to them in strength either, he might be like 1/2, 1/10, I don't know. Or he could be very well even higher than this. You see, you may think I'm drunk and just saying BS. Well, when you look at and analyze some of the stuff he does with his hits, it kind of implies he can lift a lot of weight compared to normal humans. The weight of his hits just knocked the heads off of robots. This is a cartoon, so you might overlook stuff like this. Like, he's literally kicking people in the air, like on some fighting game type stuff. When you're hitting your opponent and you keep them in the air, like juggle status. When he's not even armored up, he breaks open these doors, kicks this door off its hinges. He did kick him into a water tower, might I add. He kicks Joker with so much weight that he indents the wall that had brick on it. Yeah, he can punch through thick brick walls, if we're being honest. There was these shipping containers. Batman shoulder charges it, and he moves it. Shipping containers can kind of get pretty big. If we assume this shipping container is like a lower end one, like a 10-foot one, it could be around the 10-ton range, the whole shipping container. Stuff like this could help you make an argument to say he could be able to hit with over 10 tons of force based on his opponents he's always fighting. This kind of adds up with the cartoon version of him so far. We've seen him kick beings like Mr. Freeze through thick chunks of ice. When we're talking about his reflexes, those are also superhuman when it comes to how fast he can move his hands or his combat speed. Somebody tell me what kind of speed is this? Like, yo, bruh's moving around like a blur. Even when we're talking about energy beams, surprise gunshot attacks. You telling me all these people can't aim? Nah, he's just quick. Like, come on now. This is quick. He's fast enough to react to energy beams even when he's flying towards it. This is a clear example of his combat speed. He was able to do this to Penguin before he can even do anything before he landed. You can say he has supersonic or even above fighting speed or reaction time. Heck, there's even moments where he can kind of keep up with police cars for a little while. Everything I've already said in this video magnified by a whole bunch. If he's wearing this battle armor, he can definitely for sure lift or hit with over 30 or 40, 50 plus tons of force based on him matching Bane. Even though Bane can do ridiculous stuff like this battle suit can match the strength of this Bane. Like, this Bane can literally get shot, y'all, and not be freaking phased. Basically, don't put a house or a building in his path while wearing this. He will punch it down. Like, yeah, there's a gap between Bane. Like, Bane is in his normal mode right here, but when he buffs up, that's when Batman really can't do that much to him. So yeah, there is a decent gap. I'm not trying to say he's equal to Bane, like without the battle suit. I mean, Batman does have unshakable will. I mean, he can actually activate and use a Green Lantern ring, which takes willpower to even use. And when it comes to mind resistance hack stuff, his will overpower that stuff too.
No human can resist my will.
I mean, any superhero has to have a crazy amount of willpower to keep going after all this stuff so he can break mental illusions. If by some miracle his strength and punching power doesn't cut it, he does have a whole bunch of different type of tech. Blades in his boots, claws in his hands. I mean, his gloves themselves have like sharp blades on them, so that's why you literally see them cut through steel. I mean, heck, even his normal old batarangs can cut through steel. He can increase his punching power by having tasers on his knuckles, like in this situation. Back before smartphones was a thing, he had his own smartphone. If he's somehow trapped in ice because of prep time, the phone will overheat on purpose to help get him out of the ice. That cape he wears is basically like a parachute. You can't just steal his gear and just use it for your own. It has biometrics, so everybody can't just use his gear. It's a waste of time. He has battering-like drones that allow him to like literally video survey. No matter which version of Batman we're talking about, he always has a grappling hook. You could argue he carries around bomb-like stuff that can blow holes this deep. He's got smoke, knockout, gas, and knockout spray. Okay. I guess he carries around ice pellets just in case he faces beings he can't win with actual physical blows. How the heck do you have ice spray though? Apparently his gloves have a small laser in it. A flying razor that can shoot out to help him out of tough situations. Fear not, he can even swim in sewer water because of air filter stuff. He's got handcuffs, a lockpick. Like, this belt can fit a lot of stuff in it, like eye gear, infrared. His mask has different modes, like ultraviolet, sonic disruptor, carries around his own rockets, tracking devices he puts on beings, break out of ice because of something on his belt, and he's got a jetpack. Obviously, he's a skilled combatant, can improvise, use weapons laying around, anything at his disposal, honestly, battle IQ. I like this version of the Batmobile in this universe. But what do you guys think? Is Batman pretty strong? He's pretty decent. Hit that notification and like buttons. And thanks for the donations, y'all. I'm glad you are enjoying your time on the channel. Make sure you check out the playlist on the channel to see other How Strong videos. If you like what this channel is offering, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and I will see you guys later.